Well, hello there. My name is sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. Today, we are going to go to Summerset with Ri-Jari Silkenpaw. My very much in progress Khajiit. Too many things all around. Do I even have batteries on my controller? Yes, I do. Today, I am only 10 minutes late. Apologies. For our daily reward, we get an instant or research scroll. Delicious. Let's see if there's anything fun in the end of the month. I've been actively looking in. Potions, true wax, rosin, talva stones, bits of gold, and more talva stones. If you haven't heard, there is an event going on. The Dark Heart of Skyrim allows you to claim double daily rewards in Western Skyrim and the Reach. In order to get 2 event tickets, you need to do 1 daily in both the Reach and Western Skyrim. Everything drops. A lot of things. I'm completely turned around. This. Yes, everything drops a lot of rewards and you get double the amount of materials from all resource modes. It's a super fun event that doesn't really require you to do anything but 2 dailies, so go check it out. We have at least 4 days to
Traveler,
go.
a moment please.
We're not going there. Instead, we're going to Summerset. Summerset is one of my favorite places in ESO. It's really, 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 really pretty. The main quest starts from Shimmering. As usual, we are drinking coffee. I just
the
got
cat
this
fight those
toolbox.
monsters. I'm getting out of here. The island sprung a leak. Run!
Oh no! Do I have subbies on? Let's see. Subbies, 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 where is subbies? Perhaps in audio, and visit subtitles on, video subtitles on. And that's about it. Let's talk to Caliber and see what's up.
First, the Queen issues a decree that changes the status of Summerset from an isolated paradise into a tourist attraction. Now monsters, sea creatures, I've never seen anything like them. Well, I say let the cat fight them. Better him than me.
Monsters? Cats? Slow down and tell me what happened.
Suddenly the ground opened, spewing water and strange creatures. They attacked us. Luckily, one of the newcomers, a Khajiit, leaped in and drove them back. Called himself Razum-dar. He could probably use some help if you're so inclined.
I will go talk to Razum-dar. Raz is a recurring character in ESO. He has a large part to play in all the stories. If you start with, is it Altmary Dominion? Then you will meet Razum-dar in your starter zone, which is... I want to say Camartes Roost. Raz can be also found in the Oridan main quest. I hope I'm not lying to you. And also he returns in elsewhere. to play a little part, a fun one. That little part is located right around... Wait for it. Are you still waiting for it? Narrator pause. There must be more stories with us, but... well, I can't remember them all right now. I should probably make a video about all these quests, because Raz is one of my favorite characters.
Have you ever seen such creatures? Raz has not. Probably neither have you. You are a newcomer, yes? New to this island of high elves? This one has an eye for such things. And you look capable. So can Raz interest you in some cloak and dagger work?
Cloak and dagger work sounds ominous.
Ominous? No, nothing of the sort. Well, maybe a little of the sort. Depends on how things develop. Raz has come to Summerset at the behest of Queen Irene to make sure her decree regarding the opening of the island proceeds as she directed.
How can I help?
Ask some questions, determine the mood in Shimmerin, and see how the newcomers are faring. Rumors have reached the Queen, and she is concerned. So Razum-dar comes to see what is happening and fight strange creatures. Now Raz is concerned as well.
This one will ask questions around the city.
While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimmerin when you have something to report.
As usual, Razum-dar is full of stories. Let's question him. What were the strange creatures I saw you fighting?
Raz never saw such monsters in his life. They appear related to water, but this one tends to avoid this stuff. That pearl, though, Raz swears it was calling those creatures. A mystery for another time, perhaps. Now, we need to see to the newcomers.
Anyone in specific you want me to talk to regarding the Queen's decree?
As a matter of fact, Raz made a list.
Oh,
All
lists.
Newell, a high elf artisan, spoke out. See what she complained about. Then there's Soxolza, a persecuted Argonian newcomer. Finally, Ranul, a city resident noted in the Divine Prosecution's observation log.
What did Onivel speak out about, and where can I find her?
All Newell complained about it. No. Raz doesn't want to prejudice your investigation. You will find out when you talk to her. The artists like to gather shells along the eastern coast. She uses them to make paints and dyes.
Paints and dyes. Sounds well. Ranul, that doesn't sound like a high elf name.
True. Not enough syllables. Ranul's a Redguard, whose family has lived in Shimmerin for generations. He's a well-respected trader, with a few warehouses along the docks. Talk to him, before the Divine Prosecution decides to arrest him.
What's the Divine Prosecution?
The Divine Prosecution serves as lawkeepers and protectors of social standards. Very persnickety. When rules are broken, they record it in their observation logs. If your name winds up on their list, things get complicated.
What do you mean? Soxolza is being persecuted.
Something to do with monks and newcomer registration. Raz is looking into that. Last I heard, Soxolza was seen leaving the city and heading west. Probably trying to reach the water. Lizards like water, yes? Not Raz. Ugh. Raz hates the wet stuff.
What does all this have to do with that geyser and those creatures?
Nothing at all. Unless you think they came to Summerset because of the Queen's decree. No, that would be ridiculous. Let's not lose focus. Just see what Ol Newell, Soxolza, and Ranul have to say about newcomers and the mood in Shimmerin.
What do you expect me to learn by talking to these people?
We need to confirm these rumors or else put an end to them. Everyone should be pleased with the Queen's decree. Opening the border shows progress, yes? However, if any of her loyal subjects reject progress, well, Raz needs to know that too.
Obviously. This one will go talk to the people you mentioned.
While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimmerin when you have something to report.
Well, hello there, Omnicard Dad. We have one more question to ask. Anything I should know about Shimmerin before I head out?
Raz knows very little about city ordinances or how to tell the difference between mead and ale, so let's avoid those topics, yes? Otherwise, this one knows all about the Queen's decree and the initial reaction of the nobles and kin lady.
What's that about the kin lady and the noble?
Kin Lady Avenice has made her views on the Queen's decree quite clear. She calls it unreasonable, dangerous. A few of the city's nobles have sided with the Kin Lady, as has the new Oldark at the monastery. My queen permits discussion, to a point.
So the kin lady opposes the queen's decree.
She has spoken against it. Now Raz needs to know how far she will go to defy the will of the queen. Does she grumble but welcome the newcomers, or is she using every option at her disposal to block their arrival? Raz will find out, with your help.
Oh, thank you for helping me. Oh, that video was about Lily Ann when she was tiny. Oh, it was so much wonderful help. Tell me about the Queen's decree.
Queen Irene, her most excellent leader of the Aldmeri Dominion, has issued a decree opening the once forbidden land of Summerset to traders, visitors, and immigrants of all races. Controversial, yes, but part of her plan for the Dominion's future.
And this is a problem?
For some. High elves talk of perfection, but they are a complicated people. Various individuals in Summerset take issue with their queen, with change of any sort, actually. The kin lady, for example. Some nobles. Makes my job complicated.
Who are you, again?
Raz is wounded to the core. Forgotten already. This one usually leaves a better impression. I am Razum-dar, Queen Irene's eye and Dark Lantern agent extraordinaire. But that is a secret between you and me. To everyone else, this one is simply Raz.
Simply Raz. And so we have exhausted this conversation, which was surprisingly long, actually. So, 3 people to chat with, all conveniently scattered around Shimmerin. Let's start with the person whom we will find on the beach. I suppose it is the artist gathering shells and such. All new will.
Go find your own patch of beach.
Scary. Feisty.
Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. I must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly.
Well, leveling up a vampire when they're like below level 30 is like such a pain. I'm actually playing with a Khajiit Nightblade right now. My build is far from finished, but we'll see what turns out. Or how she will turn out. What is the path to Alaxon?
An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Summerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every high elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents the approach we take to achieve that state. Now, why have you interrupted my work?
I heard you made complaints in Shimmerin. I'd like to hear about that.
I believe in caution as much as the next High Elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers. And she was adept at making dyes.
Oh, I hear that too. Let's hope my Khajiit turns out well. At least relatively nice. That's true. I was actually contemplating that I might want to try vampirism on Miss Silkenpaw here, but maybe I'll make a regular build first. We'll see it. What happened to your apprentice?
They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells.
Did the monks offer any explanation as to where she was or when she'd be returned?
They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? I've said too much. I have work to do, and all this aggravation has diverted my path to Alaxon.
I will let you get back to your work.
Perfection requires constant vigilance, so back to it.
I've played through the Summerset main quest before with non-Khajiit characters. I'm actually kind of interested to see whether Razum-dar's conversation options like change to compensate or being a cat. Yeah. I've made things difficult for myself, and I'm making a dog elf Nightblade at the same time. I gave her 2 daggers instead of a bow, so... Her, I did turn into a vampire. Oh dear, an enemy. I don't know, but... A backpack with a rather long note. So, this character has been imprisoned and seems very, very upset. Experimental mindset. Is there any other kind? One more friend to talk to. This one is located close to Adept Rider crafting site. Let's hop to it. Summerset is a very lovely place, and I don't think I've ever seen it rain. To me, it seems to be sunny at all times. I personally prefer it when it rains in real life, but it's somehow fitting that Summerset is always free of a drizzle. almost there.
Please, I was once like you.
A newcomer? In the warehouse district? Unusual. But how can I help you today, my friend?
I was wondering how your name ended up in the Divine Persecution's observation.
The Divine? Who told you that? If a justiciar sent you to try and trick me into confessing... No. The High Elves would never send a newcomer to perform such a task. But I admit it. I made my thoughts known.
I'm going to check if Summerset has Oaken Soul just as soon as I'm done with this conversation. And what were those thoughts, if you don't mind me asking?
I arranged to bring my cousin here to work with me. The ship arrived, but all the newcomers were carted away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady and anyone else who would listen. And what has it gotten me? Nothing.
You're not a high elf. Have you lived in Summerset very long?
Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help.
Do you like living in Summerset?
Summerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better.
Oaken Soul. I'm actually rather interested myself. Oh, I can't even see it from here. This is actually, I think, in High Isle. Yes, a huge fuss was made about it when High Isle just first appeared. And then I haven't heard anything about it. I'm missing the last piece for this, but that one required you to do like a lot of digging around for something, and I've totally forgotten what it was. Now we need to find Razum-dar again. I suppose he's somewhere sharpening his claws onto a fallen tree trunk. High Isle and Summerset have many similarities, I think, in how they look like. Also, there's, I feel, a certain similarity in the feeling of the DLC. Both have a lot of like political intrigue about them and all kinds of new monsters we haven't seen before.
This is unheard of. Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns.
Well, the workers I hired, they were aboard the ship from Rivenspire.
The kin lady and I,
Yes, this
we
is
have
true.
only your best interests in mind. Every guest must be sequestered while we ascertain their suitability for Altmer society.
The old Dark's right. Lock up the newcomers.
Send the newcomers back where they came from. We don't want them here.
An Xbox controller is a little bit slower in combat than mouse and keyboard, but so much easier to handle. Much less strain on the shoulders.
Such anger. Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for Raz to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to?
The artist's assistant and the Red God's cousin have both been sequestered.
Sequestered? Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but O'Newell's assistant has lived on Summerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Soxolza have to say?
Soxolza was dead by the time I reached him. I found this letter in his bed.
Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the King Lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery.
Still calls us protocol. All right, I will help you investigate the monastery.
Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice that the sentry is distracted, just sleep quietly inside.
Okay, we're on our own for this one. Xbox, I have gathered, doesn't support mods or add-ons, and I have quite a few. So, to the monastery. Monastery of Serene Harmony. That sounds very calm, soothing in a way. I suppose it's going to be anything but. I mean, I've taken the wrong turn. Let's see if I can get to the monastery from. Dang it.
Sentry! Raz owes you for that game of cards and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any. You say I won some gold?
Don't you remember? Raz
Well.
always pays his debts. And
Good thing is that
Save me.
quests in ESO aren't the kind that actually require you to rush. Razum-dar will be.
You there! I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
I must
I
definitely
have no idea what that was, and I'm not sure I want to know.
In the future, we will learn the secret
Sentry!
of the
Raz
golden
owes you
knight.
for that game of cards and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any... You say I won some gold?
Don't you remember? Raz always pays his debts, and he always buys the drinks.
Gold and drinks? Well,
dear.
my relief should be along soon, so why not?
This gives us the perfect opportunity to sneak in. Investigate the monastery. This place has a lot of lootable containers. Most of them contain garbage, but every once in a while you run into a treasure. Darker carpet, mottled. First clue is a list of sequestered people, citizens. So many people apprehended. Right.
Are you lost? You can't be in here.
Not lost. Completely need to be there. Then we find Kinlady's letter. So many things to say. Next, we run into a monk sleeping on a bench.
No, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap.
Where can I find the people that have been sequestered?
You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldork brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way.
You must have some idea where they're sequestering newcomers.
Again with the questions about the newcomers. Why do you care about the complexities of Altma bureaucracy? Still, if I had to make a guess, I'd say they were taking into the Undercroft for registration and processing. Now go away.
Tell me about the Aldach and the new monks.
Aldach Tilkala arrived right after the Queen issued her decree. He came highly recommended by Kinlady Avanice, or so I heard. It's not unusual for monks to form attachments and move together, but there's something strange about that bunch.
Strange? What do you mean?
The Aldork and his monks keep to themselves. They've taken the Undercroft for their own purposes and ordered the rest of us to avoid the ancient vaults beneath the monastery. Now, please, let me get back to my nap.
Anything else I should know about this monastery?
The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldork has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm. Me? I never saw you. Now, if you don't mind, my nap awaits.
Let's let him speak. Despite God saying that we cannot be here, you don't actually get, like, a bounty when entering the place. So you can't, like, trespass. The last crew is located upstairs. I just saw a staircase. Was it in the other room? I suppose so. I need to eat. Ri-Jari hasn't yet learned how to cook.
You have no right to be in here.
On Crown Store meals, which actually come from daily rewards.
Did someone tell you you could be here? I think not.
Here we find an abyssal pearl and very pretty painting. I like this.
Unusual
Case of
knick-knack
success.
for an Aldork's office, wouldn't you agree?
Interested. As we investigate the pearl, we are visited by Balzer. Oh yes, you need to get all the way in the scrying skill line before you can get the best mythic items. That kinda sorta like stinks a little bit. Now let's speak with Balzer.
I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind.
And what purpose would that be?
The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either.
I saw a pearl like that. There were strange creatures nearby.
Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios. Strange creatures notwithstanding, we need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers.
How did you happen to get past the sentry, by the way?
The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations.
What else could be going on here?
That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldarch and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me?
I will meet you in the Undercroft.
A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldarch acquired it.
But
probably
first,
not important.
I'll
meet you in the Undercroft, and we can see what's going on with the newcomers.
Be right back. I have returned. Now let's investigate the Undercroft. First. Oh, yay, pigs. I am literally drowning in...
You belong on the other side of that door.
Monastery Undercroft.
Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages? These people did nothing to deserve such treatment.
Oh dear.
There's someone alive over there. See if you can help her.
Now I get to speak with a prisoner.
Thank the divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, let me out of here.
Why did they lock you in a cage?
It's a nightmare. We came to Summerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages.
There are only a few of you here. Where are the rest of the newcomers?
The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please, let me out of here before they take me away like the others.
I will unlock the cage and then see what's going on in the next chamber.
Is that a scoffin?
Oh, thank you for setting me free.
Isn't that what anyone do? Oh, season exactly.
A Daedra? Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious.
It could be. We'll see what happens. What's a dead scoffin doing in a monastery devoted to the eight?
An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door.
That's where the prisoner said the monks took the rest of the newcomers.
Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action.
What about your missing friend?
I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
The foundation for the Summerset quest was actually laid in Clockwork City. Now we need to defend Valsevan.
Daedric cultists? The pearls drain on these people.
It happens here.
More newcomers? Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear, your turn will come.
I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures.
Oh dear.
The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell.
Talk to Razum.
Come on, let's talk outside.
Well, that combat proved that I really need to concentrate on making this go a little bit better during the weekend.
Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier.
What happened to the pearl? Did you destroy it?
I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Psijic Order. Our Right Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Summerset. My inquiries led me here.
The Psijic Order?
The Psijic Order is an ancient magical monastic society. We served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you involved in all this?
I'm working with Razum-dar, one of the Queen's eyes. But what happened to the pearl?
An eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Psijic island for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once we get out of here.
All right, let's go. Explore the underground. Summerset brought with it a new world skill line called the Psijic skill line. Yes. And in order to unlock it, you need to complete the first stage of the Summerset main quest. After the quest takes you to Artaeum, you will be able to join the Psijic group. I'm not going to be exploring the Psijic skill line with this girl because I have already completed it with a few characters and well, that is a very, very long process. I thought I might alter my Storm Socks build actually in the near future to incorporate a skill from the Psijic line. I've used another skill in the past with other characters, and even though all the abilities in the Psijic skill line aren't like remarkably good, there are a few things I actually really enjoy. More enemies.
Living on Artaeum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity. Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later.
The exit leads us into the middle of a maze. I'm very surprised that we got out without getting turned around and misplaced. If I ever make merchandise, that's going to be text on a t-shirt. Turned around and misplaced. Didn't have enough hands there. Now we need to find Razum-dar again. He is located upstairs.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail.
The people that were sequestered were killed to power a Daedric ritual. I found this letter.
That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement. And by we, Raz means you.
You want me to go and accuse the Kin Lady of conspiring with a Daedric cult?
Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her. See what she knows about the Aldark. The Kin Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation and set of elegant clothes will get you through the door.
I also met a mage from the Psijic order in the monastery.
A Psijic? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Psijics. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Psijic mage say what the Order was investigating?
Something about a warning, and she seemed pretty interested in the life-sucking pearl.
There was a life-sucking pearl? You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Psijic mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say.
Shouldn't you speak to the Kin Lady? You do work for the Queen, after all.
Kin Lady Avanice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and... No. This one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would.
Alrighty. Attend the Kin Lady's meeting. Let's do that. Oh. These guys have the same painting as the monastery. So, the meeting takes place conveniently close. Just about here? No, the other one.
When Summerset, oh Summerset, our fair and pretty land.
I have forgotten how you don the elegant outfit. Ah, this convenient. Put on pretty clothes. This actually hides your hairstyle if you have, like, equipped something that isn't original to your character.
Yes? And who might you be?
I need to speak to Kin Lady Avanice.
The Kin Lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference with Shimmerine's elite to discuss certain political matters.
I have an invitation.
Yes, so you do. And may I say that your outfit is suitably elegant. Please, head into the garden.
Thank you. These containers, not really bootable.
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with Aldark Takala to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Summerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly.
No need to speak with Aldark Takala.
How bold of you. The Neberar dares to stand in my holy presence. Very well, bold Neberar. What can the new Aldark of Shimmerine do for you? And please, try not to bore me or spray any spittle on my spotless vestments.
I hear that you and the Kin Lady have a plan for administering the Queen's decree.
You heard that somewhere, did you? I'll have to have a discussion with the Divine Prosecution about how lax our security has become. No, I jest. The Kin Lady and I have nothing but the best interests of Summerset and the newcomers in mind.
Is that why you're sequestering newcomers and other non-high elves beneath the monastery?
You really are well informed about things here in Shimmerine, aren't you? For a Neberar.
You keep calling me Neberar. What does that mean?
You're right. Where are my manners? Using a word you couldn't possibly be expected to understand. It means unwelcome. As in, you are not welcome here.
I see. And is it common for High Elf monks to conspire with Daedra?
That's a serious accusation to toss around so casually. What did you say your name was again? I want to make sure to add it to the Divine Prosecution's observation log. For your own protection, you understand?
If you'll excuse me, Aldark Tilkalar, I just remembered I have someplace else to be.
I suddenly remembered some business I need to deal with as well. Feel free to pester the other guests in my absence.
Now let's exit. Next we are prompted to speak with Lady Butts. Up the stairs.
How dare you barge into my home without so much as a by your leave? No, I refuse to deal with one of the Queen's guests, especially not in my own home. How did you get in here, by the way? No, never mind that. Since you found your way in, I assume you can find your way back out, before I call the guards.
Why do you oppose the Queen's decree?
Oh, such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Summerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. It's in everyone's best interest that we maintain a separation.
And the Aldark agrees with your efforts to protect the islands and the newcomers.
Aldark Tilkala came highly recommended. He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, in my haste to deal with the Queen's decree, I may have made an error in judgment.
An error in judgment?
Not that it's any concern of yours, but my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Aldark's existence prior to when we met, and I recommended him for the position at the monastery. I assure you, Kinlord Millenthal praised Tilkala to no end.
And were you aware that the Aldark's monks were killing the newcomers under the monastery?
That's preposterous. Aldark Tilkala sequesters the newcomers to ascertain their suitability for life in Summerset. Those who pass will find a place here. As for the rest, they'll be returned to wherever they came from. That's what we agreed to.
It sounds like you should see for yourself what's happening at the monastery.
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver this message. It's from the Aldark himself.
The Coral Forest. An odd location for a meeting, but I need to hear the Aldark's explanation.
And then we need to speak with Razum-dar. Down the stairs. Ross is waiting for us conveniently close.
Psst. Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly at Raz. Good, good. Now, tell Raz what you learned at the King Lady's manor.
The King Lady believes that the newcomers are being sequestered and sent away.
Raz thinks Avanis is as naive as she is complicit, but she is not a murderer. This new Aldark, though, has so much blood on his hands, it looks like he's wearing red gloves. From what I could discover, he didn't exist before he came to Shimmerine.
I overheard that the King Lady was going to meet the Aldark in the Coral Forest.
The Coral Forest? A strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the Aldark is up to. After I take back that outfit, I might need it again later. Ah, you have a pretty admirer, my friend. The Psijic sage, yes? Here she comes now.
Let me find out what Valseran has to say.
I'm glad I found you. While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Aldark in the Coral Forest. Raz smells something. And it isn't moon sugar biscuits.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen. I am Valcerin of the Psijic Order, and I agree that the Aldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes? But let's travel separately, to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Raz will find you both at the Coral Forest.
The bunny is so adorable, I cannot take it. Bunnies actually clean their ears like that in real life too. The Coral Forest is also located conveniently close. Let's make our way there. If memory serves, the first stage of Summerset main quest ends there. My pony is painfully slow, but it is a little bit faster than walking. Very hesitant to sprint with stamina characters. Even though I plan to make Ri-Jari into a hybrid. Hybrid build, I still use stam abilities, and I feel that stamina restores somehow slower than magical. Hence, don't sprint.
One of Summerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. I used to love coming here when I was growing up. We need to find out why the Aldark asked Kinlady Avanice to meet him out here.
How do we find the Aldark and the Kinlady?
Based on what we saw in the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose we'll have to find them through mundane means. Too bad the Queen's spy isn't here yet. I understand he's good at this sort of thing.
Suggested that cats are good at finding things. We have angered sides. I am not at all happy with my damage numbers. The beach is littered with enemies, but
part of the plan, Aldark.
You know nothing of the plan.
it's
you
relatively
fool.
easy
Let's
to
make
find the
taste
path
of what the Prince of
through
Bargains
them
has
in
in
case
store
you
for
don't
this
feel like
pitiful world.
Your prince! I want no part of Daedra! Help!
The Aldark, we'd better hurry.
confront Aldark Tilkar.
I'll go after the kin lady. You deal with the Aldark.
Sometimes You have to wait a moment. This NPC behaves like a boss enemy. When someone kills it, it's down for a moment. Which in a quest is a little bit annoying.
Come, Nebara! Let me... Yagra! Destroy these...
Destroying the Abyssal Pearl.
Razum-dar apprehended the kin lady. They're at the west edge of the coral forest. What happened to Aldok Tilkalar? Did he escape?
The Aldark is dead. I heard him mention the Prince of Bargains.
I think we can conclude that Tilkalar wasn't actually an Aldark. At least, not with his connection to the Prince of Bargains' Clavicus Vial. Strange magic and creatures worry me, however. Hopefully the pearl I sent to Artaeum can tell us more.
You think you can learn something from the pearl?
You'd be surprised what a particular object can reveal if you know how to unlock its secrets. I need to return and tell Rightmaster Ikesis all that transpired here. If you're willing, I'd like you to come to Artaeum and confirm my story.
Who is Rightmaster Ikesis?
The Rightmaster leads the Psijic Order from Kapora Tower on the island of Artaeum. This spell attunes you to a portal near Shimmerine, in the ruins of the Keep of 11 Forces. It always leads to Artaeum, no matter the island's current location.
I will go to Artaeum and talk to the Rightmaster after I check in with Razum-dar.
One more adjustment and there! You are now attuned. Find me on Artaeum after you finish with the Eye of the Queen.
Oh. The magic she uses looks so convenient.
Ah, Five Claw. The King Lady and Raz had the most illuminating conversation.
You can't treat me like
Queen
some
Irene will be disappointed that the King Lady of Shimmerine allowed a false Aldark to murder so many newcomers. Such a scandal makes other travelers uneasy about coming here, yes?
The Aldark called on the Prince of Bargains before I killed him.
The Prince of Bargains? That could only be Clavicus Vial. What oblivion-inspired nest of vipers has Raz stumbled into? This one has a very bad feeling about all of this. Where is the Psijic sage? Raz would like to ask her what she thinks.
Balsaran returned to Artaeum. She invited me to come and speak to the Rightmaster.
The Psijic Order's interest in all of this concerns Razum-dar. This one has never had much love of magic, or those that practice the art. On the other hand, now Raz has his own person on the inside. An Eye of Raz, if you will, yes?
Balsaran said that the Order would try to find out more about the Aldark and the Abyssal Pearls.
Then you must go to Artaeum and discover what the Psijics have learned. When you return, you can tell Raz all about it so he can pass it along to the Queen. Yes, Raz likes this plan. In the meantime, Raz will investigate the Daedric connection.
Now we need to travel to Artaeum, but first let's speak with King Lady Agnes.
Have you come to gloat? To kick me while I wallow in my own misery? Well, go ahead. I deserve it.
How did you get involved with Aldark Tilkalar?
I met him at Kinlord Millenthal's party in Eleanor. We had similar ideas about the Queen's decree, and I recommended that he lead the monastery. Summerset isn't a stew pot, And the various races aren't ingredients to be sprinkled in like so much spice.
So you knew he was planning to kill the newcomers?
What a hateful accusation. Tilkala told me he was going to send them back where they came from. I had no idea he planned to kill them. I give you my word. I just wanted the newcomers to go away. And to find out he worshipped Daedra? How crude.
Do all the monks at the monastery worship Daedra?
I certainly hope not. We'll have to get the divine prosecution in there to gather up the monks Tilkala brought with him to Shimmerine. We can't have Daedric cultists desecrating a holy site. I suppose I need to beg for mercy from the proxy queen.
That would probably be for the best. And now to Artane. In order to get to Artane, you need to use a portal located close to the keep of the 11 forces, or travel to your house, or a friend who is located in Artane. I am going to go and find the portal. The house on Artane was a community challenge type of thing. Reward. It was one of those things where we all needed to get the Summerset Pathfinder achievement. And then if everyone did that, we got loads and loads of presents, including a house. The house is super big and I haven't even started to decorate it. Help me, angered. A smarter person might have taken the road. In order to reach the portal, you need to make your way through a horde of imps. There's also a conveniently placed sky shard here. Let's go. I have only recently reached level 50 with Ri-Jari, and I do suppose I will need all the skill points I can find. Hence, I gather sky shots. Portal to Artane. This is a lovely, beautiful place. The area outside of buildings doesn't have any enemies or killable creatures. You'll find a crafting site for Sloat's semblance set here. And also beautiful, beautiful scenes. The merchant located close to the Way Shrine sells quite interesting furnishings and furnishing patterns. Let's see what she has. Merchant friend.
I have.
I can't make any of these, but we can still look. I really, really like these book stacks I have. Have this pattern on both my crafting characters and have it at my horses. Oh, it seems I like to you. Doesn't have furnishings, only furnishing patterns.
And there was no sign of Lathan. I don't know whether to be grateful or concerned.
We'll find him, Val. Now go check on the Pearl while I speak to our new guest. What a rare honor Valcerin bestowed upon you. Only a select few not of our order have ever walked upon this sacred island. Val tells me your aid was indispensable in uncovering the false Aldark's plot on Summerset.
We discovered that newcomers to Summerset were being murdered to power the Abyssal Pearl.
Unfortunate, certainly. The magic you describe sounds familiar, though I can't quite recall where I've heard of it before. I fear the pearls may be a harbinger of the threat Sotha-Sil warned us about.
Sotha-Sil? What threat? I don't understand.
Sotha-Sil, one of the living gods of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He's an honorary member of our order. After an attack on his clockwork city, he warned us about a Daedric threat to Summerset and Artaeum. I sent Valcerin to investigate.
Is there anything more I can do to help?
Indeed. But not until we finish studying the pearl Valcerin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be instrumental to our success. We can get started immediately, unless you want to explore our island first. The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valcerin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldark and the source of the pearl's magic.
You can use magic to get the pearl to reveal all that?
We are the Psijic Order, friend of Valcerin. There is very little we cannot accomplish through the application of the old ways. Every object remembers its history. The trick involves selecting the correct ritual to reveal those buried memories.
Can I do anything to help?
While I head inside to begin the augury ritual, I'd like you to go to Sotha-Sil's study in the tower, find my acolyte, Oriandra, and ask her for Sotha-Sil's amplification elixir. We may need it if the pearl proves to be resistant to our magic.
I will find Oriandra and get the amplification elixir. That's a difficult word. And now that we have made our way to Artaeum, I do believe the time has come to say goodbye. For now. I will continue from here next week with the Summerset main quest part 2. And that happens on Thursday at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Ta!